The Darth Sidious sponsor is Heatseeker. In this video, we'll be learning about the Death Star and destroyed systems. The Death Star is a powerful unit that follows the same rules as ships except for the following. 1. The Death Star does not have health, nor can it receive damage. 2. The Imperial Player cannot retreat units if the Death Star is in combat. 3. The Death Star, even if it's under construction, is considered a space station, not capital ship or a structure. In the first game, the Imperial Player starts the game with a single Death Star in Mandalore. In order to build a second Death Star, the Imperial Player must play the Construct Death Star card. When resolved, the Death Star under construction is placed in the chosen system, which must be remote and without rebel units. The completed Death Star is then placed in the Value 3 space on the build queue. Once built in the queue, the Death Star under construction is then replaced. The Death Star under construction is immobile, and if destroyed, the Death Star in the queue is destroyed as well. In order for the Rebel player to destroy the Death Star, they must use the Death Star Plan's objective card from their hand. This is played during the space battle step of the combat round, and is played after attacks have been resolved. In order to play this card, the Rebel player must have at least one fighter in the system. Fighters are those ships with black health values, like the X-Wing or the Y-Wing. The Rebel player then rolls 3 dice, and if at least one direct hit is rolled, the Death Star is destroyed, and the player gains the reputation points. The Rebel player can even decide to use the 1 in a million action card to gain the direct hit. If the roll fails, the card is returned to the player's hand and can be used in a future combat round. Now let's move on to destroyed systems. The Superlaser online mission card can destroy an entire system. It can be resolved in any system containing the Death Star. When a system is destroyed, all Rebel ground units are destroyed as well, and a destroyed system marker is placed. As long as the Imperial player has ships with enough transport capacity, then the units are not destroyed. Throughout the game, ground units can move into destroyed systems as long as transport capacity is never less than the number of ground units in the system. If exceeded, then some units are destroyed by the player. Space battles continue as normal in destroyed systems. When destroyed, a system loses its loyalty as well as its resource icons, but the system retains its name. In addition, missions and actions that are performed in that system can still be attempted and resolved in said system. And this concludes our series on Star Wars Rebellion. Thanks for watching. The executive sponsor of this series is Gabrielle Thorne. The high ground sponsors are Eric Boissonneault and Michael Jaksa.